Read the disclaimer. Hello everyone to the weekend review where we recap the previous week and anything extra. Alrighty, you see this time we started right compared to last week and my audio wasn't terrible, so there we go. So for this week in review, I decided, other than that, I need to do it every week, or try to when there's topic of discussion. Quite literally, I have been having a very bad summer, because most of my summer I had to recover from getting a really bad fever and sick. My nose got like super congested and everything. So basically one side was really blocked off, so it's hard to breathe and got hard to sleep. I'm fine now, whatever, so I have a lot of catching up to do. So that's going to be fun. So obviously the main topic of discussion here is going to be Valkyrie, all the new parts, all the new news that we got. And yeah, the rest of July onwards, I will be ramping up on uploads. I have to really fix up my schedule since I wanted to work on other stuff, but then after everything got shifted around, we'll get to it. But we're going to give a little bit of a Mall of Bays update while I'm just preparing everything on the sideline. So this bird image is still true. So basically, big update in terms of kind of what's been going on. It's been really bad, actually. So obviously, aside from getting sick, whatever, my stock got delayed like crazy. Still going to be this week, but it's going to be later on this week for the new Pegasus, Blast, Cerberus, and Leone. And the stock that we got was really bad. This didn't just happen to me. This happened across the board to a lot of people, but it depends on what. So basically what happened was, and sometimes this can happen where for Japan, or in Asia specifically too, for the other regions, there will be such high demand for the stock, the TT will make so little of what that demand actually is, that then after whatever we get, we don't know. Like for me, for an example, I don't know until the week of what stock I'm actually getting. So it doesn't matter if I order 2 cases, 3 cases, 4. It's no guarantee at all. My Pegasus Blast, I didn't even get a full case. I did get a full case for Cerberus, and Leone, I barely got a full case at all. I got maybe slightly over 1/4 of what it should be, which is like out of 24. So that is not really fun at all. So obviously, to be responsible, I had to deal out any refunds for if there was overpromise, so got the full money back, whatever. We could have done the alternative where you could have kept whatever money that you gave to us, then after you can just do it for some future release, but I don't like doing the IOU thing, whatever, so I prefer you get the money back, and eventually after, if we can make a sale, we'll make a sale. But yeah, this is like super nuts. This doesn't happen too often. This happened like in the original July 2023. So I don't know if it's a mix of TTs just not preparing proper stock to be sent out, because how it works obviously is that they create it in Vietnam, and then after the supplier gets it, and then after the third party, like the stores like me, get it. But obviously their priority is going to be the Asia region, right? Because that's who's intended for. So a lot of times, you know, stock kind of gets a little crazy. So most likely, because I also got screwed in another way, because Monday in Japan is a holiday, so I didn't get anything shipped on the Friday, which usually it's like the Friday I'll get my stock shipped. Sometimes it might be early, it depends, but Monday's a holiday, so that basically means that it gets sent on the Tuesday, right, which would technically be, I think, my Monday if the time zones are correct or whatever, but besides the point, that's like Wednesday if I get lucky, Thursday in reality is probably when I'll get it. But from there, you'll see all the reviews, all the content, whatever. So, again, it is what it is. There's no use in, like, crying and sobbing, whatever. It does kind of suck, but I'll figure out a way around it. But, yeah, that's kind of the update. It's kind of funny, because basically, Triceratops got delayed. We didn't have Hong Kong stock, whatever, but Triceratops did get delayed almost a week for almost everybody. And then after, what else was there? Mine was dealing with issues because Canada has this whole thing with customs now that's bringing in products and importing. It takes like even longer to bring into Canada. So even on that, like even if you're on, I'm going to tell you a fun fact, even if you're on top of paperwork, meaning you file all the paper, you do it is not a guarantee you get the stuff released in customs. And it's not for any real reason. They just fucking suck. So, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, we'll talk about some other stuff, I guess. So, No, that was probably the craziest I've actually seen of just this entire month of just shit being thrown at me. I got sick. My stock got delayed. Oh, I don't know. It is what it is. What does it even... Oh no, someone's just spamming something I did not see. Yeah, if someone's spam... well, hold on. Okay. I'll be back. I forgot we don't have moderation on here. Woof. Give me a second here. I was reading. I was like, what are you guys saying here? Okay. Have fun with a 24-hour timeout, dipshit. Okay, back on the actual topic. Okay, so I actually won CX. So this was actually the good thing that happened this week. So I originally did like 37 tries. And then after 27 tries, and then after I eventually got it, I literally had to pray right before the last one. And I remember praying and I was like, no, this has to be the last one. Please, Jesus, please. And actually, you know what? Praying does actually work because I did actually get it. I don't know what animation played. It might have been a Valkyrie. I don't know if it was the Valkyrie with the combination because I literally walked away from my phone and I somehow got it. And I do want to also mention this, that this is how it basically works in the app. You'll get a burst finish, guaranteed 2, whatever, night mails, and then after you will get an extreme finish win condition. But here's the tricky thing. Even if you get an extreme finish, it's no guarantee you get Valkyrie. You could get Arrow Pegasus. So, yeah, this was actually super cool. I'm pretty excited for this. This is actually going to be really... This is the good news this month. So, even though I get delayed on some of the other July stuff, I get the Valkyrie. So, that's... we'll take whatever good news we can get and be thankful for whatever. But yeah, that's really awesome. So, obviously, I'm not going to do the thing where I'm going to wait. I'm not going to actually do any battles in the video. No, we're going to battle with it. We're going to do testings. I'll get another one eventually, whatever. This one's going to be mine that I want to use, so I'm going to use it. We'll see the new chip. We'll do a little discussion on it. I also attended a tournament, yesterday. So I've been trying to do this thing now where I'm going to get the PNG here as we're doing this discussion. 1 second. And shout out to everyone in the chat right now for listening to my ramblings. Where is that PNG? Okay, well, whatever. If I can't find it, I'll just say, I've been trying to do a thing where, oh, this is probably the thing, but these images aren't loading. Which one is this? I've been up to tournaments. Okay, here we go. I've been trying to do a thing where I try to win with all the new stuff, whatever, but obviously the cool thing about the Ontario Beyblading community is that we have such a rich community of a lot of great members that it's very hard compared to previously to get top 3. But since a lot of feedback on Twitter, which I refuse to call X, they said, like, as long as you attempt it and you kind of try to show your... So that's what I've been trying to do. So eventually, we'll get through most of them. For this one, it was a really cool format, and I'll try to make sure I don't misexplain it by accident. So the format here was basically, both of you have 2 Beyblade combinations, no repeating parts, obviously, and there's like a tiny also ban list for something else, whatever. But you will reveal it to your opponent. So you'll both have 2 bays in front of each other, and then after you pick each other's bay. And I think it's really cool. So I just had 3 bay. I tried a lot. So I tried to do actually Scorpio. I wanted to try to get Scorpio, whatever. So you can expect a very... I'm going to see how I'm going to split it, because I have literally footage since January, but I've been able to attend a lot more, whatever. I still have to be a little bit careful, because if I do gym, I can't do tournaments, just because... it's too much strain in my arms. I've been practicing with string, a lot of that stuff, so some pretty nice footage, some nice wins. Some stuff, the audio is really bad, because obviously it's a very loud setting, depending where the area is, but you'll probably expect maybe like in multiple segments, like one video will be maybe this to this release, or whatever. I figured out how to title the video, because obviously previously I titled it, what did I even, I think I titled it, what is this? Like every November, but technically speaking it would be like what? Everything before X release? I don't know. We'll see. The hardest to win with is CX, because CX is not... it's not been easy to win with. I have tried testing out with Wizard Arc on 960 Free Ball. I also thought, like, what if I want to win? So then after I couldn't use CX, but with more options, it'll always be fun. My best build, actually... And by the way, thank you for all the congratulations and all the love, everyone. The best combo was shout out to Kato X from the WBO, which is, yeah, how I basically said it. The combination that actually got me a lot of good points was Scorpio Spear, 770 Kick. Scorpio on Kick is actually pretty nice because Scorpio is very like top heavy and weird, and sometimes it falls down. 770 did a lot of good smacks. I saw a lot of Tyrannobeat 560 points still making the round, so Tyrannobeat's still pretty good in that AVA and even against regular stuff. And I think also Tyranno on, I think it was Rush or Low Rush, but that's kind of typical. But yeah, that's been pretty cool. So some other stuff we're going to talk about here. I'm going to kind of move to here, and then we'll go back to the shark stuff. But Rock Leone. So this did get revealed. I said anyways, Leone makes the most amount of sense for them to do next, because they always have some sort of release order where they'll go like, so it was Drasil, then after, well, no, El Drago, Drasil, Excalibur. So then after the next one has to be MFB again. So then after it would be Rock Leone. Maybe then after we get like Storm Spriggan or something, and then after maybe like Wolborg. Unless they try to recycle like Valkyrie, Pegasus, or Dragoon S, which would be really lame, but we always get 3 crossovers per year. Leone, their weight's already been revealed. I think it's not even 30 grams. If you get 30, you get super lucky if it does hit that ballpark. It's lighter than the Fusion Wheel, which is like 31 grams, so I don't know. It obviously, either way, like, it's cool to have it in this generation. Would have I liked it to be, like, at least a little bit more, obviously. Gear Needle doesn't match Leone at all, but they do the thing where they go bait and buy, where it's like, hey, actually, do you remember the original? Well, if you get the random booster, you can do Wall Ball, which, hey, it's the same initials as Wide Ball. Which, for the record, technically speaking, to be accurate, it would have to be Gear Ball or just regular Ball. So that is your comedy. That is your comedy. 29 grams. I don't know why they do this. Legitimately, I like, are the remakes that broken if they're like a couple more grams? Like, at least competitive. They're barely hitting against the mid-tier stuff when they do these weird nerfs. I don't really know, but this is gonna be the last one I review for all the new 3 stuff. Might even be later on after the Valkyrie, depending on my time. But speaking of which, Valkyrie and Mail, you can expect the Night Mail to be in the same video as the Valkyrie, because I'm not going to do a separate video with it. It doesn't make any sense for me. But we're going to kind of go over some other stuff. So let me try to see. So yeah, those will be combined with every. So the shark thing now I want to talk about. The shark thing is actually pretty exciting. And then after we'll do a little bit of a part breakdown stuff. Because keep in mind how they kind of have everything all set up in that stuff. I think it's going to be maybe like 1 week, maybe, or I don't know, because the release is like, what, August 9th? So we might see more of these videos like really, really soon. Would you say 450 would make CX? Well, the issue with that is that 450, technically speaking, will make CX maybe slightly more usable, but maybe only for that month, because if everyone else starts going to 50 height, it's the same height issue you have for CX. But, hold on, mute 1 sec. Okay, sorry. Someone just messaged me and I just saw that. So the new shark thing, super, super low, 450, under flat. I don't know why they compare this to Wizard Rod for height. I guess they just want to show that it's really short and they have to do some weird comparison, but I don't really know. I'd love to see how Pegasus Blast works on 960, low flat or L. Yeah, obviously that would be pretty cool. Probably on like Jaggy or something would maybe make some sense. I haven't tested at all, so I'm not too sure. Me and one of my viewers joined a team tourney in an outspun Aero Rubber XL with Leone 770 kick. Blast Assault extremed a male and got us top 4. Well, that's pretty nice news. Leone may be an attack versus attack. That sounds pretty awesome, actually. That male looks so pretty true. Yeah, the deck set is actually... This is honestly the best value we've gotten in a long time. I don't know how many people remember Phoenix Rudder's set. Phoenix Rudder set was really bad. Like, it was mid at best. But I don't know. The shift tested it against Golden Rock. I don't like the stock of Golden Rock, mostly just because I think underneath it'll burst a lot because it's bottom heavy. But they showcase the Shark. Shark looks pretty destructive, and I'm actually curious because if you'll notice, the weight is always placed like Always. The weight it plays like really super, super low compared to where plastic is. So, dude, shoot, I don't even know. This is actually pretty interesting. There's also the Rock Leone, which we already talked about here, but yeah, it burst whatever. I'm expecting Shark to be maybe pretty decent for a UX release. Like, it does not look bad at all to me. I'm pretty excited. The other basic, I have the part images stuff we'll go over in a moment with the Valkyrie, and I'll give my breakdown one by one. We're going to go over the release schedule also for the upcoming few months, by the way. So this is from like October till February. So UX Random Booster, Stadium Set, that's basic line launcher, apparently supposed to be left. Now, typically, in the logic of TT, they're not going to do a left launcher if there wasn't something else also there. Otherwise, it's a really weird release, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I assume maybe we could get a left spin very, very soon. Otherwise, it's going to be really weird just to do another left launcher if there's no other left release to accompany it, right? It has to make sense. November is just the CX Booster deck set. We could probably expect, for an example, if there's a metal lock chip, maybe they throw it in there for like a deck set. That would make some sense. December is really, really small. UX December starter could maybe be like a left spin impact Drake. That could be something interesting. BXG, I don't know what. It could be Pegasus again, Valkyrie, Dragoon Storm as a normal release, or it could be Spriggan. Whatever TT wants to do to troll us. January, the CX Booster, and then after February, a BX Random Booster. So, dude, it's a pretty intense next couple of months. Big thing to notice is that they have, oh, I forgot to pause this. Big thing to notice is that there's a lot less releases per month. Like, they're not doing the spamming of like 3 times per month. And most likely they want to slow things down, and I think they should, because honestly, getting so many releases per month is so hard to catch up with. Like, I don't even, like, to test and everything, like, no one can compete with that. It's better to spread them out, so I prefer, like, if we almost got, like, 2 releases per month, then, like, 3 is too much, honestly. It should have came with 350, not 450, maybe, but also, I don't care too much, I guess. It doesn't matter. I love to see X actually usable in tournaments, in meta, or at least usable. Okay, there's viable, which technically anything is viable, and then after there is competitive. Competitive means your win rate at least has to be close to 50% or more. I would at least think our consistency. Eldrago homage win. Eldrago would be cool. If we got an Eldrago one, that would be nice. I wonder if it would be UX or CX, though. Probably CX would make some sense. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions on Valkyrie being 40 grand? Well, technically speaking, Valkyrie, which we're going to actually get to now, the Bolt main blade, from what I saw on Twitter, apparently is just the same weight as Brave. I think maybe slightly less. The actual main thing that gives weight is this little metal lock chip. Now, the big question here that someone's going to be wondering is, like, what difference is this going to actually make for CX? Is this going to actually boost CX, where it's going to make CX, like, super, super meta? Probably not. Like, I don't expect this to help a lot with stamina or whatever. Because CX's weight distribution is already super bad because everything is raised because of the height. You can maybe expect this to maybe just boost for attack stuff and maybe defense. Don't expect this to be for stamina. I'm pretty sure, I think I saw on Twitter, by the way, to anyone wondering, the weight of the lock chip, I think, a normal lock chip's like, what, 1.7 or something like that? I was seeing, like, I think it's like 5.3, 5.4. So that's, like, at least, like, plus 3 grams. So a lot of these CX blades, if you have this, at least for attack stuff, might get a major, major buff. Now, in terms of the Bolt blade, I went too fast there. Bolt is something that I don't think will be good. Even if it needed to be heavy for me to actually... Blast is actually the heavy main blade out right now, so for some reason, they didn't make Bolt that heavy. 31's not bad, I guess, but Blast is like 32 plus, so that's crazy. That is crazy. Bolt doesn't have a good shape. Like, it's just not that aggressive. Like, maybe for stamina or something, I don't know. I'm just saying stamina because I don't know what else you would throw this for. Or maybe, I don't know. Obviously, test and see, I guess. But I'm not. If you're looking at Bolt right now, I don't really think there's anything too special about it, to be quite honest. So, Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know about that one. And the rest of the parts are recycled. I am still a little bit annoyed that the Assault Assist Blade wasn't given to the Valkyrie homage. Yes, I know they recycle from Drawn and Hell, but I don't care. There's what, Slash, 470, and then after Vortex, we can move on. These aren't really new parts. I'm very excited. I think it has a lovely presentation. I think actually us barely getting any gold stuff or whatever, this works really nice. I do like it's not literally the blue, red, and yellow colors for it. I think it actually works for this color scheme. I hope once we get a future release of whatever BX, UX, CX, or whatever it's going to be, that they keep the color scheme. They don't do the thing they did with Arrow, and they just like add unnecessary colors. But yeah, Valkyrie's pretty cool. The male stuff just looks nice. Nice recolor, I guess. Other parts, not really new. We'll move on. This one's actually crazy. Oh, I forgot to clean the white on that PNG. Whatever. There is a Pegasus Blast Red one, which is supposed to be the Korokoro Festival, I think, early August or something. Apparently, this is, like, super hard to obtain. I think you have to go to the Korokoro Festival, and then after, it's, like, one per person or something like that. So, it's not going to be easy to get. Do you think Valkyrie will have bad burst resistance due to the opposite spin direction of the blades? No. Because Hell Scythe didn't. What? Hell Scythe didn't. Just because it's the other... Well, no. It wouldn't affect it in any way. The contacts are pretty neutral, actually, despite being reverse. But yeah, the Pegasus looks really fire. Gonna be hard to obtain. I know maybe after a few months might be a little easier to find, but yeah, we're gonna kind of move on from there. What else do we got? Oh, the new Samurai Saber. Samurai Caliber, whatever. I said Saber just because I'm used to saying Saber. This one's actually pretty cool. Basic line, I'm not expecting... Like, the blade has to be heavy for me to probably care. It at least needs to be 34 grams. 34 to 35 has to be the bare minimum for this stuff. Because especially with competing, like, Golem Rock is pretty good, but... Honestly, I'd say 35 has to be our ballpark for blades to be even considered at this point in the game. It looks like it could probably be used like Golem defensively and maybe crazy for attack stuff, but it always depends on the weight. The Ratchet of 670, I'm not too hyped on it. And then we got our new Merge bit, which this one might be pretty exciting in terms of defense types for Beyblade X. I don't think it'll be better than Hexa, but I think it'll at least be interesting. Samurai is pretty forgettable. I think Samurai is forgettable because Shark already has, like, it's a low ratchet and it's a low bit, so it's already 2 for 2. Like, Samurai might be slapped on. We don't know. The bit is the only thing that's kind of carrying this release, if we're going to be fair here. Right? Now, even if this bit, let's say, decent defense, the issue is because... Okay, Coach Sharp, for an example, or even Unite, can maybe work when a lot of attack is rubber-based, because rubber doesn't have much stamina. And something that has a mix of plastic and rubber is going to have a little bit more stamina, outlast the rubber. But Beyblade X, all your attack tips are literally... they're plastic, so I think it'll maybe be a second defense option. I think it'll be at least something good. I don't know if it'll be crazy. I think probably decent is fair enough to say, right? I don't think we'd go too crazy there. Now is where all my part images get mixed here. So this is the main Shark one. Shark, I think it might revive the legacy of Shark Edge, where Shark Edge died really, really bad. Like, Phoenix Week came along and Shark was already on thin ice, because it was basically recoil trade-off, and most of the time Shark would lose. Tyranno Beat comes out, and then after Tyranno Beat kind of beats it up, so... I don't know. Is Merge an attack bit or a balance bit? It probably is technically labeled an attack bit, but that would be stupid. Samurai Caliber. I actually have to see. It probably is labeled as attack, but that wouldn't make any... I don't know. If it is, then... Whatever, then I misspoke, but... That tip was basically... That tip should technically be balanced. No, yeah, it is a balance type. That's what it says on the wiki, right? This is a balance type, yes? Is it balance or an attack type? Yeah, it says balance on the box. Okay. Woof! Close there for a second. I was like, wait, did I misspeak? No, because sometimes they mistype the stuff. Buster even replaces Shark better. Yeah, Buster, Whale Wave. So this would have to be at least like Tyranno Beat weight, I would think, to be usable. And I'm saying that because, I don't know. Like, I mean, Hover Wyvern works really well, but Hover Wyvern also has, like, 2 giant... giant nukes, where it's literally like both sides are basically drawn buster. Wouldn't it be labeled as balanced, but used for it? Yeah, it is a balance type. I was just misspeaking for a second because I was just like, whoa. You think merge on tall height rod might be... Everyone says Flame 230 CS, but Flame 230 CS is a very unique context where Beyblade X is not in that equivalent of literal height for it to actually matter right now. You need Beyblade X to get way taller for that to actually be close. I will probably shitpost saying Flame 230 CS, but we are not actually there yet for Metal Fight, where it would probably be similar to work out. Not at least right now. Maybe later on in the future, could we see something that could work out? Potentially, but I'm not too sure. Okay, I have to go to media here so I can actually play to see. Okay, what else do we have on here? I think it's just random. Oh, Tyranno-Roar. Tyranno-Roar, we already know it's basically Phoenix Wing on more defense. Will they maybe weight buff this? Probably not. If it's like the same 36 grand, you could expect this to just be on defense. What else do we got? Hell's Brave is on Jaggy, so that's pretty good. You get the Jaggy Assist Blade, which is one of the best assist blades in Beyblade X. Because it's short height, and it's barely exposed, so it does barely any contact, mostly the metal. I also noticed there are pink protruding side stuff on the blade. There is. It's really tiny. It's like Cobalt Dragoon. I don't think there's really any special thing about it. I think it's just one of those like plastic things that are just protruding out. I don't really think there's any gimmick to it. It's going to be some really weird contact point that's there. It's like a Cobalt, where it has those little plastic fins. 170, we already know, is going to... Well, I would say... 170 is going to be good, because now you can basically have a deck of all critical hit ratchets, so that's actually going to be super, super funny to see. So that's going to be pretty fun, and it's going to actually make deck a lot more interesting. Roar we just talked about. I don't know what else we got. Shark. Yeah, so there's the plastic fins you see on the thing. It's a weird addition. I don't know why it's there. I should also mention something, which I am working on that tier list video, which is going to probably come out maybe, probably before all the July stuff. I'm still debating, no. I want to get the video out, because 3 more releases to add on, it's kind of pointless, so they can come back like on a video later on in the year. I don't think it makes any sense. I want to get... That video is already 36 minutes. We're not going to make the video 40 minutes just to add like 3 more releases. Yeah, no, I'm going to stick to that, because if I keep pushing it, then after it's going to be in this weird limbo where I just want to get the video out. Fuck it. Yeah, but the shark stuff, pretty cool, I would say. What else do we got here? I think, where's the level bit? Where's level? Oh, shit, that's what I was saying. I just lost it. I was going to say, Shark is not really upper attack. Shark is more smash attack than it really is upper. If Shark was to actually be true upper attack, it would need to basically be Shark Edge, but if they flipped it upside down for it to really do scooping. Even Ratchet Sniping is also kind of like an iffy topic, because I think technically it's true, but it's not really provable. And also, it's kind of hard for consistency, but yeah, this is pure smash attack. That's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry, I don't know why I literally like, I paused for a second. Will it make us great more because of the distance? 170 is heavier than 160. Well, yeah, 70 height is heavier than 60 height, yes. What else do we got here? Level bit? Come on, where's level? 450. 450, I've already seen so many suggestions. Impact Drake, Black Shell. It's literally going to be like one of the craziest ratchets once we get more 50, but this is going to get used quite a bit. Obviously, 360 is kind of stupid. We should have got 960. I don't care about 360. We already got a green 360, even if it's not the exact same. Level, super, super good. We get... Honestly, it also kind of lowers the value of Samurai Saber, because now you can just buy this deck set. I mean, I guess for accessibility, I don't know. But level bit right there, like, it's pretty good, I would say. Underflat seems pretty cool. I'm trying to see what else. Yeah, and then after it's the Hell's Chip. And the Gear Flat. Gear Flats, yeah, the third bay is really... You're basically buying the deck set for 2 bays, not 3 bays. Underflat, I'm very excited for. We can ratchet swap with X50. Technically speaking, you can, but for events, you have to wait till official parts come out for it if you're doing WBO. We should have got Kick instead of Gear Flat. Honestly, true. Honestly, true. Kind of funny, there is no reprint for Glide. That is super, super funny. No Glide reprint still. You would think they would have done it by now, but no. No. I guess they really are stuck with that rudder set or something. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Anyways, we're going to kind of move on to wrapping up now. I don't really think there's much else to add. I'll go over the plans for this week in general, and then after, I guess we'll get close to just wrapping up completely. Okay, I'm going to do it here. Well, so for this week, I'm going to be getting my stuff super, super late, so you're going to probably expect that tier list video that I'm working on to probably come out Monday or Tuesday. Super, super long, worth the wait. I go over everything where I explain each part, I give a combination, and then I move on. Obviously, I could have just done a thing where I quickly brushed to the side, but I actually wanted to kind of do it a little different. Don't waste time reprinting Glide. Listen, it needs to get at least one reprint, at least for the black rudder. I don't know. That's what I would have wanted. If Saber didn't have that awful wrap, its value wouldn't be affected that much. Yeah, but the deck set also, it'd probably be the better purchase for most, I would say. I could say 170 to use on Wizard Rod Hexa. Maybe. I like Wizard Rod on 160 Hexa. I don't know if 170 would be better for that height, but we would see. Shout out to the Gamer for the $5 donation. Chesera press combo went off against Wizard Rod 960 Bowl. Last video, 760 bounce spike. Interesting. Thank you so much for the donation. In terms of, tier list video, and then after, later on in the week, you'd see the reviews. Valkyrie is going to probably be last week of July, you'll see, and I'll work for it, whatever. It depends when I get it, because probably by the time it arrives for it to get shipped to Canada, that's already like another day, so I'll probably move it around. I think we might have to delay the Rock Leone. I don't know. Do we delay the Rock Leone by to do the Valkyrie video before then? Because that's probably what's going to happen. We'll see. And then after, you can expect for August, I'm going to do a mix of all the combo testing stuff over that time. I'm going to try to pace myself a little bit better to catch up for my summer. But yeah, I hope everyone had a wonderful summer so far, a wonderful July. You know, obviously, things didn't go too well for me, but I'll take whatever I can get. So, next week, is there going to be a weekend review? Probably not, because it's not going to make any sense. Because all the reviews and everything, so this will be the last weekend review for this month, probably. I'll see if I want to do, maybe I'll do something on the 31st or something. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of it. So I want to wish everyone, please, a happy Sunday, and that's going to be it for now. So I want to say take care and bye.